Hi, how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. Yesterday, we did the parable of the mustard seed. And we could probably do a little bit better than that for a homily. See, we have Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Those three. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And it looks like Mark and Matthew have an equal amount of words. Mark has more, but I read you Mark yesterday, so I'll read you Matthew today. Another parable he put before them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. And it is the smallest of seeds, but when it has grown, it is the greatest of shrubs, and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air become and make nests in its branches. Yesterday we mentioned that our American mustard seed, which we plant in huge fields, anyway, it's small. It's about knee-high when it's mature. And this is what we use, mustard for our hot dogs. And in Israel, their mustard plants are more like a small tree. And they have a little seed, this little round type bead, and they self-seed, and they are wild out there. They don't have to plant them. They just grow wild. And they're all over the countryside, all over the hillside. And probably kind of a nuisance plant because there's so many of them. But anyway, the church has started out with 12 people, 12 followers. And then Jesus developed like an audience. His followers, thousands of people, would come out and listen to him talk. And then he had many. And today we have, millions of followers all over the world. And this has been going on like this for 2,000 years. You've had all these people attending church. We don't know how many people are Christians. Have no idea. No idea. But as you can see, the Christian faith benefits us. It gives things to us that are important. It teaches our young people things like love, caring, integrity, honesty, humility, things that are of value to make them good citizens. And a lot of other religions just don't have that. They don't have that. But the Christian faith is good mentally and emotionally for people. It gives them hope. Now we're waiting for a hero to come out of the sky named Jesus for the rapture. We're waiting for this hero to appear. A hero. A superhero. And the children were like that because they remember the superheroes on TV, Saturday morning cartoons. But now we have, a real superhero named Jesus that will come out of the sky and scoop up his believers before something happens down here. Before we get hit by a bunch of asteroids, or there's some huge war, or something really traumatic will happen. He'll be the superhero and pull us out of that. And then we get to come back with him when he returns, after 7 years. And we come back and help him rebuild the temple, and I imagine rebuild the earth. Because the devil will make a mess of it. He'll make a mess of the planet. He and his followers, the devil, will be allowed out of hell for a short period of time. And, a short period of time to straighten up. Yeah, wouldn't you imagine that's why he'll be letting them out? They'll be to straighten up. But instead, they'll be making a mess of things. Not good. Not good. And, but you have to think, if he did quite the opposite of being destructive, if he was actually constructive and improved, then he would be allowed out of hell for forever if he just reformed. The whole idea behind prison is to reform, so that you meditate and think about what you did to put you there. That's the whole idea. But today they don't do that. Today they just don't, that's beyond us. And so, but instead of doing good, it's predicted that he's going to do bad. And he'll end up back in jail again for, 1,000 years while Jesus rules and reigns down here. So, anyway, this rapture is going to happen relatively soon. We are guessing as followers, it probably will happen 3 to 5 years. Could be more, could be 20. But keep it in prayer, because it would be nice to be able, these little kids that we have running around, it would be really nice for them to grow up, don't you think? I'd like to see them grow up. Have a normal life. We don't want society to collapse. We really don't want that. We don't want another plague going around killing people. We don't want all that trauma. That's ridiculous. All that trauma? What's the point of that? Other than the devil wants to get even with God. Now think about what would happen if the opposite would happen. That things would improve. Yep, Christ can return any time. He could return to a peaceful earth as well as one that's in conflict. Think about that. The Bible says there will be a conflict going on, a war going on, and he'll come in and stop it. Be the hero. Ta-da! Save the day. Superman. Okay, you got the idea. Jesus Christ will be Superman. He'll come in and we'll come in with him, and he'll stop the war, and he'll stop all that stuff. And just wouldn't it be nice if that war wouldn't happen and the plague wouldn't happen? All that stuff wouldn't happen. Pray about it. Pray about it. We don't need that. We don't believe in war, for one thing. If you talk to the people on the other side of the planet and ask them, do you really like war, or do you think it's stupid? They're going to tell you it's stupid, and they don't know why. They think the United States is warlike. We think they're warlike. It would be best if we would just learn to get along and help one another. If they're short on funds or they're short on food or something, we could swap and trade, and everybody would be happy. We could just give them a bunch of food, don't you think? We just give it to them. But we need to just learn to help one another. That's what life's all about. Helping one another. I will see you tomorrow. For another homily and another little short. I'll see you. Bye-bye.